their sea legs. They're trying to stay alive in the battle for the Helmer Cup.
Baseball 1090.
The energy that we've had all tournament long here in Columbus. And there's the ITC championship match for the women. Lindenwood with that narrow 9-pin lead. But UMES much more steady than they were when they lost game 1. We'll bring back the leadoff bowlers. That'll be Tania Falbo, looking for her first strike in this championship match.
Even though Angie Ramirez is not bowling right now, she has a chance to have a big impact on our team still. It's difficult as a great bowler to be pulled out, but if you choose to handle that positively, you can still have a good impact on your team. Whereas you can, if you sulk about it, you can really pull your team down.
She looks on, rooting for that shot. Boy, that looked like a great shot. And then just dove in there. And she winds up with only the 6-pin, which is a big break. But at first, I thought that shot was perfect.
And here she's playing right up about, she's trying to hit the 7th, 8th board. That one gets up around 8, 9 and is going a little bit left early. Goes ahead and turns over. And once it gets going left on this pattern, keeps going. Good break to leave only the 6-pin.
So if it goes too far to the right, it never comes back. If it goes too far to the left, it just keeps going. Tough pattern.
But other than that, they're really easy. Yeah.
How'd you like to play, Mrs. Lincoln? Yeah, that's well covered. Jillian McBride, the junior.
Been very solid, done exactly what you want your leadoff player. Filled frames, no opens, good count everywhere. Team could use a strike though right about now.
It's not going to be there. They almost got the split. The 7-pin was dropped at the last second. The 8 count will drop that lead a little bit more. It's down to 7 pins.
One of the toughest shots to make in bowling, I think, is the first one out of the commercial. This one's left target. She knows it. She's very happy just to leave a makeable spare. And spare shooting at this point is paramount. You have the lead, and sometimes not only just in pin count, but what it does to your team emotionally. You keep filling frames, you keep putting pressure, and in this case, you're the underdog, so you're putting even more pressure on that favored team, and they have to come through with strikes somewhere.
Well, it'll be Martha Perez seeking her first strike from the number 2 position, now bowling in the 7th frame. Two, 4, 5 left to be taken care of. Boy, that is a tough lane.
Yeah, that there looked like a very, very well executed shot. Just a little bit too long on the lane. Goes by, leaves the 2, 4, 5, and the 7 count is tough because then it puts the lead back at 10 pins.
Crossed over, picked it up. Boy, this is like a 3-3 football game. And the first team that turns the ball over may be the team that loses. I think that needs to go on the PBA tour. I would root for that.
Would you?
Yep. Now you see the maximum score. So Lindenwood, of course, with the 10-pin advantage if they strike out, would throw 242. There's Amanda Richards. And we know what's going to happen when that ball sails out right.
And a substitution here, shooting the spare.
And this is Allison Peliudad.
This is an interesting choice here because really there's no advantage to putting a right-hander in for another right-hander to shoot the spare.
Well, that's asking a lot. She delivered.
Well, and that's why they're the coach and I'm not.
Oh, yeah, like you don't know anything about it.
Well, it's an excellent call when it works.
Yeah,
exactly. What that is.
Well, I'm the professional second guesser of the bunch, so I would have been able to jump in had that not worked.
And now she has not made a shot yet in this championship. Comes off the bench to shoot a difficult 1-2-4 perfectly straight, perfectly executed.
Megan Bougia did not bowl the first game, subbed in, and that turned out to be a wise decision. That's a big one in the 8th.
Boy, what a great shot there. And she is playing further out. She's right around the 11th board there, fed it right up the track, got it to turn over and sawed the rack. Big high fives from all her team.
But as you have pointed out, Chris, no one has thrown the ball better today than Crystal Brooks, even though she has an open frame. And right on cue, she doesn't deliver, and that is nasty. It's makeable, but
it's another opportunity for a huge momentum swing. Right now, UMES is already calculating in their head that now they've taken the lead.
you see that smile on her face? She went for it and didn't seem to be terribly upset about it and didn't make it. So the momentum shift that you've talked about has happened. It has happened momentum, and on the scoreboard, the UMES, I think for the first time today in this first to 2-point race, has the lead, and they bring out the senior lefty.
One of your 2 3-time All-Americans.
Crossed over and left the 7.
Almost a really good break there. The left has played pretty well, and Christie's played exceptionally well throughout this tournament, but this is inside a target. She's trying to hit about 4. That's about 7. And really a high flush Brooklyn hit. Most of the time that does carry.
Gotta hang on. All right, it does. Yeah, she knows. She's a senior. She understands.
That's why you practice all those spares, so the bad ones are not that bad.
Amanda Green. Light, and there's a bucket.
Well, nothing hurt on the count because you're coming off of an open. But last time she left the bucket with the 7. This time she leaves the bucket without it. I think she's a little bit surprised by that shot, to be honest. I think she thought that was going to make it up the hill.
Got it. Boy, about one more rotation, that wouldn't have worked, but it did.
I think she made a great adjustment after shooting it in the 4th frame, and that one split. The ball hit every pin. Really difficult spare. Had to move further left to shoot it.
Now Rodriguez tried to slam the door on the fingers of Lindenwood and came up a little light with a quiet 10-pin there.
That's a good shot there, too.
Well, this is going to be interesting because maximum now was 191 for UMES. Lindenwood can go to 195.
Perfectly executed. That's a really good shot there in the situation. I think she would like to have closed it out and not given Jenny any chances. The one thing that you've been pretty certain about Jenny in these situations, she's going to hit the head pin.
She's going to certainly go for it. There's not going to be anything left behind. So here we go. Best that they can do is 191, and that would force Jenny Petzold to double and then get 7 for the championship. Let's see what happens here. All right, so it's going to be a 189 now. So it's going to be a double and 5. Now the and 5's the easy part. And we know Petzold is a power player. There's not a lot of finesse here. She has been a dynamic player in the clutch for Lindenwood in this event. Must strike. Okay, I get it. I get it.
That's the Jenny we've seen all the way through match play right there. Every time they need her, she puts it dead on line. That is just a frozen rope. Up 18, ends on 18, 10 straight back. She needs one more and 5 pins for a national championship.
Picks them up, no. Doesn't happen. We are going to go to a third game to decide it all.
If you're UMES, you had to be holding your breath right there. That shot was pretty close.
So UMES huddling up. They make the substitution. The strategy pays off. And their hopes of trying to win 2 championships in the same season, never been done before, still alive.